Hi, and welcome to this video on making connections in Trestle. Trestle is a data management and productivity solution. The connection process within Trestle, linking technology providers and multiple listing organizations, makes it not only possible, but easy. Whether you are a multiple listing organization or a technology provider, you must configure the system before you can begin making connections. But once that's done, making a connection is a snap. I'll show you how it works here. Since connections are always initiated by technology providers, I already logged into Trestle as a fictitious company called Widget Factory, and we'll look at the connection process through their eyes. When we log in, Trestle automatically displays the connection manager. As you can see, my company has no prior connections to obtain data from any multiple listing organizations. So let's click Add to create our first connection. Before I can view the participating multiple listing organizations, I need to select the product my company offers for which I wish to make a connection. As you can see, my company has 3 products configured for use, and I'll select Widget Master. Now, Trestle displays the list of participating multiple listing organizations. I can scroll through the list page by page, search by state, or search for an MLS by name. But let's assume my new client is in Boise, so I'll use the state drop-down to look for multiple listing organizations in Idaho. There are 2 multiple listing organizations there. In this illustration, I want to connect with High Plains Listing Services. I'll select there. Now Trestle displays each data feed available by Trestle and shows ones which have been enabled by this multiple listing organization. They have only enabled an IDX Plus data feed via API, along with an IDX feed via API. Of course, in the real world, a multiple listing organization may not support a data feed you wish to use. We can only encourage you to contact the multiple listing organization directly if you'd like them to reconsider the data feeds they will enable. But the IDX Plus API data feed is exactly what my product supports. So I'll click Select. Trestle then displays the terms and fees established by High Plains to use the data feed. I can see that broker participation is required, which basically tells me that all broker listings are included in the feed. I can see that broker authorization is not required, which tells me that this is not a 3-way agreement. And I can see the setup and quarterly fees that will be charged for use of the data feed. By the way, e-commerce is not available in Trestle just yet. For now, all fees you incur will be recorded in the system and back-processed when e-commerce commences in the Trestle 2.0 release scheduled for the spring of 2017. Once e-commerce commences, all fees assessed by multiple listing organizations will be charged in advance. Charges for the initial period are prorated. For example, High Plains charges are quarterly. If we establish a new connection with High Plains on March 15th, the initial charge processed via Trestle will be prorated to cover the period from March 15th through March 31st, which is the end of the quarter. This all looks pretty good to me, so I'll click Preview Contract to get into more detail. It looks like this multiple listing organization chose to use the data access agreement that comes packaged in Trestle, but other multiple listing organizations may incorporate their own contract into Trestle. Please look carefully. We can immediately see that the agreement is already populated with the specific information pertaining to this connection. For example, we see the legal names of the companies and the states of their incorporation. Trestle is immediately able to construct the complete document using data entered during the configuration process by you as a technology provider and High Plains as the multiple listing organization. Scroll through the document to review it in full, or click the download icon above the document if you need more time to review it. In fact, if you need more time, click Cancel to exit connection. You can return when you've performed your due diligence and you're ready to proceed. But let's assume this connection looks fine. I simply need to click Connect to continue. When we click Connect, a copy of the agreement ready for e-signature is immediately and automatically emailed to the individual designated within my company. In this case, that individual is me, so I'll check my email for the agreement. Here is the email. Let's begin the signing process now. First, note that you can either draw your own signature or choose your own font style. Also notice that there are links to AuthentiSign's legal documentation. You're welcome to read these documents, but please click Accept once you're ready to begin the signing. This opens the document. Of course, let's remember that the individual signing the document for your company may not be the one who initiated the connection. So we encourage you to scroll through the document and make sure the terms are acceptable. If this connection was a mistake or unacceptable, you are welcome to hit the Reject button. The connection will appear in Trestle where you, as the technology provider, and the multiple listing organization with whom the connection was initiated will see the status as Declined by Technology Provider. If you want to discuss the connection with someone else in your organization prior to signing, simply choose to exit if you wish to return to the signing process at a later time. But we're ready to begin signing, so I'll click the Start button at the top right of the page. This begins the signing process and will take you to the first signing block on the document. Just click anywhere within the red box to insert your signature into the specified area on the document. Once your e-signature is inserted into the document, the Complete button will be available at the top right of the page. Once you click the Complete button, you will be asked one more time if you would like to complete the signing or stay and review the document. We'll click Complete Signing, at which point the document is automatically emailed to the signer from the multiple listing organization for their countersignature. AuthentiSign and Trestle will provide a confirmation that the document has been signed and distributed to the next signing participant from the multiple listing organization. Let's go back into Trestle now. Next, let's click OK. You can see now that the connection is pending the multiple listing organization's approval. Once the MLS countersigns the document in a manner identical to the one we just went through, the connection will be fully approved. At that time, an executed copy of the document will automatically be sent to both you as the technology provider and the multiple listing organization via email. In addition, the document will be available on a permanent basis via Trestle. Upon the full approval of the connection, and subject to the terms of the license, the data feed covered in the license will be promptly enabled by the data feed credentials that you configured and associated with your product. This concludes our introduction to making connections in Trestle. If you have any questions, please contact the Trestle support team.